Hey everyone, I thought for today's number talk we'd do an exemplars. This one's called a jumping good time. There's going to be multiple pieces to the problem, just like we've been working on for our task each day. And thought about using an organizer to help us, so I was going to create a table. So this one, a jumping good time. Some friends are having a frog jumping contest. Frog A jumps 6 inches each time. Frog B jumps 2 times as far as Frog A each time. Frog C jumps 3 times as far as Frog A each time. How many jumps does it take each frog to go 36 feet? Show all your mathematical thinking. Let's read that one more time. Some friends are having a frog jumping contest. Frog A jumps 6 inches each time. Frog B jumps 2 times as far as Frog A each time. And Frog C jumps 3 times as far as Frog A each time. How many jumps does it take each frog to go 36 feet? Well, before we even go over to the table, I hear automatically in this problem that the frogs are jumping inches, but then it asks how long does it take them to get 36 feet? So we're going to have to convert inches to feet. Well, we got to think about, what do we know about inches and feet? I want you to think about that for a second. So what I know is that there are 12 inches in a foot. And if I have 36 feet, I have 36 groups of 12 in there. So if we went ahead and looked at 36 groups of 12 to figure out how many inches that is. So I'm going to take 36 times 12. Now to go back and revisit 36 times 12, we could start, of course, with the area model. So we've got 36, which is 2 digits. So 36. And then we have 12, which is 2 digits. So 12. Doing each piece at a time. So 10 times 30. Well, I know 10 times 3 is 30, and 10 times 3 is 30, and 10 times 30 is 300. Then I've got 10 times 6 is 60, 2 times 30 is 60, and 2 times 6 is 12. So then let's just stack them and add them. I'm going to automatically, I see a doubles fact. So 60 and 60, that's 120, and then 12. So 2, 3, 4, 432. So converting 36 feet into inches gives us 432 inches. For those of you who have the area model down, if you want to push yourselves a little bit, we could go into the partial product or the bow tie method. So we could go 10 times 30, 10 times 6, 2 times 30, and 2 times 6. So again, 300, 60, 60, and 12. And then, of course, we have standard algorithm. So 36 times 12. So 2 times 6 is 12. Carrying the 1, 6, and 7. Automatic 0 going over to the tens place. 1 times 6 and 1 times 3. So now we have 2, 13, carry the 1, 432. So now we know how many inches we have. We can start looking at our table. So here is the table I created. So we have our frog. We have 3 frogs, Frog A, Frog B, and Frog C. Jumping inches per jump. Now it told us that Frog A jumped 6 inches. Then it told us that Frog B jumped twice as much as Frog A. So 6 times 2. And then it told us that Frog C jumped 3 times as much as Frog A. So 6 times 3. So we know this one jumped 6 inches. This one, 6 times 2. Think about what that is. 12 inches. That's right. And 6 times 3 for 18. Great job. 18 inches. Okay, so now we know how much each one of the frogs jumped each time they jumped. So every time Frog A jumped, it jumped 6 inches. Every time Frog B jumped, it jumped 12 inches. And every time Frog C jumped, it jumped 18 inches. Now we need to try to figure out how many total jumps each one of these frogs had to make in order to get to 432 inches. So that's kind of a lot right there. So I know that I could do groups of 6 to get to 432. I could add on until I got there. I could also do repeat subtraction. I could take 432 and minus 6 until I get to 0 and count all those 6s, which is a lot. or I could just use division. So if we took 432 and divided it by 6. So we've got the partial quotient or super 7 strategy that we were working on before we left. Lots of us were doing a really good job with this one. So thinking about how many times will 6 go into 432. Well, I'll automatically look at this first number. I'd look at 43, and I think about how many times will 6 go into 43. Well, I know 6 times 7 is 42, so then possibly I could do 70. And if I did 70, I know that that would get me 420, and that leaves me with 12, because 2 minus 0 is 2, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So 6 will go into 12 2 times 4, 12. So that tells me that frog A is going to have to jump 72 times in order to get to 432 inches or 36 feet. That is a lot of jumps. So our next one is 12 inches. So do you think this frog will have to jump as many times as frog A had to jump? No, that's right, because he jumped twice as far each time. So if he jumped twice as far, I wonder what that's going to be. Twice as far. That's interesting. So 432 divided by 12. So again, I look at 43 and I think about 12 into 43. Well, I know 12 times 2 is 24, 12 times 3 is 36, 12 times 4 is 48. Oh, too far. So what about 12 times 30? Well, I know 12 times 3 is 36, so it's going to give me 360. Okay, so 2 minus 0 is 2. I'm going to have to do some regrouping. So 13 minus 6 is 7, 72. Ooh, 12 into 72. So we said 12, 24, 36, 48. Ooh, I'm going to have to think about that one. 48 plus 12. Oh, 60. Nice. 60 plus 12. Oh, 72. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 groups of 12. And that gives us 72. So 36 times. We talked about if frog B jumped twice as far as frog A, we know frog A jumped 72 times, that twice part, because I know that 72 divided by 2, 3 times 2 is 6, 2 and 6, 36. Look, it was half as much. Now, this next frog, frog C, jumped 3 times as far as frog A, sorry. So frog C jumped 3 times as far as frog A. So then, I wonder if we took 72 and divided it by 3, if that would get us the correct answer. I just want to try and see. I could be wrong. So 3 into 72. Okay, so I know 3 times 20 would give me 60. So there's 60 and 2, and there's 1. Oh, and 3 times 4 would get me 12. Ooh, 24. So I'm thinking our answer is going to be 24, but let's just go ahead and do it the other way just to double check. So 432 divided by 18. Okay, so 18 into 43. Now, I don't know my 18s as well as I know my 12s. Not even going to lie about that one. So I've got to kind of think about this one. 18 is 2 is 36, and then 36 plus another 18, that's 54. Oh, too far. So I'm going to have to stick with the 36. So 18 times 20 is going to give me 360. And now I've got 2. I'm going to do some regrouping again. 13 and 7, 72, and 8 will go in 72. Well, we know 54. Let's add another 18. There's 72 for the next one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 groups of 18 will get me 72. Awesome. 24. Oh, look. So my idea was correct. 24 and 24. Nice. So frog C needed to jump 24 times. Now we have completed our table. And we've been really working on these word problems with multiple operations, multiple steps. And a lot of times organizing your math like this is just the way to go. Even now at my age, I still use tables and organizers depending on how large the task is, just to help me to keep up with my math. So now that we've finished the table, let's go back to the question and make sure that we've answered the question completely. So some friends are having a frog jumping contest. Frog A jumps 6 inches each time. Frog B jumps 2 times as far as Frog A each time. Frog C jumps 3 times as far as Frog A each time. How many jumps does it take each frog to go 36 feet? Show all your mathematical thinking. So did we show that with the table? Looks like it, because it's saying how many times do they have to jump. So if we were going to write this in a CSRQ statement, I would say that frog A jumped 72 times. Frog B jumped 36 times. And frog C jumped 24 times. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed today's exemplars problem. Keep up the great work.